welcome Taurus to the December messages. So what I'm kind of discovering is this is a bit of reflection of the year, are these messages that are coming forward. Now keep in mind, these are collective in general, so receive what aligns, release what doesn't, never give your power away to reading or outcome. Remember, you're conscious creator. You shift and change your timeline with your free will choice. So let's go ahead and get into it. Also know, Taurus, that this could also connect with someone close to you if it's not a message for you. And you can check out your sun, moon, rising, and Venus signs in readings. So let's get into it. We start out with flourishing friendship. Embrace authentic connections and find joy in friendships and shared experiences, blossoming stitches. So it sounds like you are either deepening current connections that you have. If you're in a relationship, you're deepening the friendship that you have within the relationship and that foundation, or you're making new connections. And these could also be people in your experience that are quite a bit older than you. It seems like there's a bit of an age difference here, Taurus, that are offering love, wisdom, support, guidance, perspectives, and just have a really kind of soft, loving presence that are helping you to grow. Some of you might even be going into business with someone, or partnering in a business, or I don't know, like there's maybe you're partnering in a business with a friend. I'm not sure, but it does feel like you have your different strengths, and the fact that you are different ages is also really kind of helpful for the perspective and the whole picture here. So friendships are going to be really important in December. That could be something that you're focusing on. And if you're single, that could be something that you're focusing on too, is making new connections, making new friendships, meeting a lot of different people, and seeing how that really nurtures your experience, how that kind of brings more vibrancy to your life, right? There's a sense of connection and fulfillment coming through here, Taurus. There could also be a friendship that's flourishing that's really important for you in December, okay? And that's something that is really beautiful. We also have Mary Magdalene, unconditional love. Love yourself, others, in every situation, no matter what the outward appearances may be. So now, take this, kind of as a grain of sand, if you will. Unconditional love includes yourself first, okay? What I'm kind of getting from this card, if there was a situation or something that didn't go in the way that you desired it to, or is maybe you're releasing someone or someone released you, and there's this sense of having forgiveness, having compassion, there's a softness or a gentleness to this that's coming through, right? But make sure that you're giving yourself that unconditional love. Make sure that you are focusing in on what is fulfilling and nurturing for you here. And try and see people through the eyes of love. Oftentimes we see people through the eyes of judgment, through ego, and it just wraps us up into this, dramatic play that just doesn't even need to become a reality, right? Just based on our thoughts. Like our mind is that powerful. We can take something and build it with our thoughts and make it feel real, right? But it isn't necessarily real, right? So you get to create your reality. You get to focus on, what filter you're looking through when you look at people, and where you want to invest your energy, where you want to invest your time. And there is that reminder, and I'm seeing the Ace of Cups in my third eye, to make sure your cup is overflowing, before you give to others. Make sure you're nurturing yourself. Make sure you're starting with yourself, right? And having forgiveness and just, being able to just let things go. Not that necessarily that forgiveness has to do with like you have to forgive people. It's more so about letting things go so that you can move forward, and that's not taking up energy and space in your heart and in your mind, and in your energy field. You're able to just release that, right? Sometimes being neutral can be really powerful, and that might be something that is important here for you because you're creating space for something new. Okay. The other message that's coming through here is we have whale spirit, trust the great mystery. So many of you are ready to dive into the unknown. You're ready for a new beginning. You're ready for a new adventure. You can feel it coming. And with this whale spirit energy, there's a sense of you have a bit more trust. You feel guided. You feel, strong spirit energy or ancestor energy with you, guiding you with this whale spirit. Okay. So you're ready to dive a little deeper, and for some of you, it's into the heart space because we have that blue and that green energy coming through here, and kind of a golden like mandala pattern as well. So there's a sense of spirituality, emotion, or maybe even deeper into love, into self-love, your self-love journey here. but there is a new beginning that you're ready to dive into. Okay. There is a sense of releasing energies that don't serve you, creating space for those that do, and new connections, right? That are helping you to flourish within your experience. We also have in the tarot the 10 of Pentacles, okay, and the 8 of Cups. So with the 10 of Pentacles, this is about your family, this is about your long-term stability, it could be about your home, long-term investments, things like that, right? Many of you have been doing a lot of healing around your abundance mindset, around your relationship with money, and I think a lot of that had to do with like inner child healing, because perhaps you grew up, with parents or people, telling you money doesn't grow on trees, or all these like limiting beliefs. And it feels like this year you've done a lot of healing around that, and you're feeling pretty satisfied with what you have created for yourself here, okay, with that 10 of Pentacles. And then we have the 8 of Cups. Now, the 8 of Cups is about releasing what doesn't serve you, what you've already been through. Okay. Some of you, there is this sense of perhaps you are moving, perhaps, you are selling a house or something like that. But the cups are about emotions. So you're choosing emotions that serve you. You're not allowing other people to manipulate you perhaps as much as before. You're letting go. You're learning the process of letting go, and you're not forcing it. Like I said, you're not forcing forgiveness. You're letting things flow here, right? And you are using your conscious choice to choose what is best for you and what you want to feel moving forward. Some of you might be detaching a little bit from family, okay? Or again, from the place where you currently live. There's a possibility there. But it feels like you have this longing for more. And it's not necessarily an abundance longing when it comes to money or the material. It feels like you're pretty well established with that. It's more so emotional. There's something that you want to explore that would be deeper, that would give deeper meaning, or you would have more fulfillment with. Maybe you're at a point in your life where you're ready, to make a shift in your career, or you're ready to make some sort of shift in your priorities or your focus here. Some of you perhaps are looking at retirement at this time. There's that sort of energy coming through, but you're like, I want more. I want more. Now we have the King of Cups and we have the Devil energy. Okay. So for some of you, this could be somebody you're connected with, or this could be you. There could be some sort of addiction or something that you're working on moving through. Someone could be quitting drinking, right? Or limiting their drinking, or even could be releasing basically what doesn't serve them, whether that is you or a person you're connected with. It feels like that's something that you're focusing on. You're more so focusing on healing. Like I'm seeing somebody drinking, more water, more tea, or things that are just healthier for them, and making that commitment and not pouring their time and their energy into things that ultimately lower their frequency or just are keeping them stuck in karmic patterns. Like that's a kind of a message that is coming through here. Then we have the 9 of Swords with the Fool. So what I'm sensing here for you, Taurus, with the 9 of Swords, this is like sleepless nights, anxiousness, overthinking, the what ifs, that sort of message is coming through here. So make sure you have a really nice bedtime routine, that you're taking time to rest, recharge, that you're not spending too much screen time before bed, maybe reading a book, something that's comforting, something relaxing, something that maybe even some nervous system regulation before you go to sleep, right, is going to be important for you. But what I also sense is this surge of energy, that there is a new beginning that is coming in. And sometimes we confuse excitement with like anxiety, right? We feel overwhelmed by the energy that is coming in. And it feels like there's a bit of that. So, maybe write things down if you need to get them out of your head. Like if you have like you're overthinking about a new beginning, or like what you have to do the next day or work, taking the time to write it down and then go back to sleep. Or finding ways to kind of move with that energy, because you have the Fool energy, you have the new beginning. Now, this could be a new energy, a new love coming into your life. This could be a new opportunity. But either way, we have the Ace of Cups. So the Ace of Cups is about spiritual healing, emotional healing, a blessing. It feels like a divine blessing coming in here. It's so fulfilling and rewarding. For you to go to the 8 of Cups to the Ace of Cups is a beautiful leap. It's like you're not just, she's like searching there, right? Searching for the right cup. It's like, it's not just a cup that is somewhat fulfilling. It is the cup that is fulfilling, right? It is the blessing that is for you, that is bringing peace, harmony, healing, fulfillment, love, but it is this new beginning. For some of you, it's a new love that is coming in here, right? With this beautiful Ace of Cups energy. So it's like you are definitely reflecting on maybe some healthy, changes that you want to make, or there could be somebody who's dealing with addictions around you. And there's a message on that I'll share later if that is you. But there is this sense of you wanting to create space for new beginnings, but also feeling a little anxious, but you're ready. Like, it's like, you're ready for this expansion. You're ready for more fulfillment, and that's really beautiful. So you've been doing a lot of emotional healing. You've been also focused on, your material, and focused on your stability and feeling, appreciation for what you do have, but also healthy boundaries with those people that perhaps are not the healthiest for you to be around. I'm seeing that coming through as well. And then when we get into the romance angels, we have heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Okay? So heart-to-hearts are going to be really powerful, whether that's in a romantic relationship, whether that's a friendship, or, a family member. It feels like you have things you need to express, and it's important that you express them. Okay, that a heart-to-heart could create a shift here, could bring in some healing, could even just bring in clarity, okay? But it feels like somebody you're already connected with, or someone who is very kind of close to you, okay? Now, what's interesting about that is for the oracle cards, you have focused relationships. Are you willing to compromise? Are you stubborn? Do you give in or make demands of your partner? So that's for some of you that are in a relationship, or again, like it could be any type of relationship. It could be a family member, it could be a friend. But this is having you kind of reflect on your own actions, your own intentions, and knowing like what you're willing to compromise in relationship versus what are your non-negotiables, right? Having those strong boundaries and having a clear cut boundary, okay, with those. Right? And again, this could be someone that you're dealing with, but oftentimes earth signs can be stubborn, right? So it's something that you can check in on with yourself. And then we have what holds you back, a grudge. Find acceptance in the situation, resolve to let go, reconcile. Okay. So I don't know that I'm so much feeling a reconcile energy here. Maybe if you had like a little tiff with, your partner, perhaps that's something that you're reconciling, but holding on to the grudge is just like holding on to something that takes up space that just doesn't need to be there. Like you could create space for so much more beauty and expansion and new beginnings that want to come into your experience. So if you focus your time and energy on that bitterness, it's just going to really waste your time. So I think more than anything, finding acceptance, and again, that releasing and letting go and moving forward and creating space for what you desire, what you want. Like what I'm seeing in my mind's eye, like if this was a relationship, and let's say you're wanting a new relationship to come in, but let's say it was somebody that, lived with you and their stuff is still at your house, right? Maybe they left some stuff and you like walk over to it and it just makes you mad, right? And just keeps you in that cycle, release that, make sure you're not self-sabotaging yourself here, right? Resolve and let things go. Like let things go, because what's coming in could be so much better than what either has left or what you have released. Okay. Some other messages that came through when it comes to blockages is we have indecision. You are afraid to make a mistake, so you won't commit either way. So that could be some of you, that are kind of coming to a crossroads in your experience. So that's really important, because if you're wanting to manifest or call something in, the universe likes decisiveness. Wishy-washy energy or indecisiveness either creates mixed results or a lot of delays. Okay. So being clear about what it is that you want, taking that time to connect in with spirit, connect in with your higher self, connect in with source, right, is important. Now, this is for those of you that maybe are moving through an addiction or are, dealing with somebody who does. We have that someone is struggling with an addiction, get help. So either perhaps you've taken that on all yourself and that person needs a therapist or more assistance, get help. Like that's a big message coming through here, is like there are professionals that can assist with that. Or even like support groups, things like that can be more helpful, so you're not taking it all on. Or it's a message that that person does need help, right? So you can, perhaps provide some resources or something to assist them. Some of you are healing an addiction and you're searching for resources or help, and that's something to kind of reach out and speak about. That could be about the heart-to-heart conversations. We also have rejection. Build confidence by exploring what others value in you through dating or other social interactions. So focusing on what others value, what others reflect back to you, and understanding that rejection is redirection, right? Rejection is sometimes divine protection as well. And then we have ambivalent. You say you want a lover, but you're not all in. Take time to figure out what you want. So I feel like, December is a time to really kind of reflect, get clear, and almost simplify, Taurus. That's what it feels like, because this year things might have felt quite complicated, and being in a space of ambivalence or indecision probably did not assist. So focusing on getting clear on what you do want, and whatever your spiritual practice is, whether you meditate, pray, just connect in with nature, just to find your clarity, to find your truth, the direction that you want to move in, what's most important for you. And then focusing on those that celebrate you, that build your confidence, that value your time and energy, right? That's important. And there has been, end of November, beginning of December, a sort of like vibrational sorting process with our relationships, friendships, even family members, almost like into soul groups for like the next leg of the journey and how we can support each other. And that's something that just kind of has been naturally occurring. So that might bring you a little bit of relief if you've dealt with a lot of rejection or things have been shifting and changing rapidly. But at the same time, what I feel for you, Taurus, like within my heart space, is that you're excited for this new beginning. You're ready for this Ace of Cups. Like, you're ready to fall in love with life again. And you're ready for this new opportunity. And you can feel the energy building. And again, I almost feel like a childlike excitement that is coming through here, right? And for many of you, you have healed, maybe some abandonment wounds or abundance wounds within like your family bloodline, right? Some of you, maybe it's addiction. There's been like addiction that has run through your family bloodline, and you're like, okay, that's it, enough. I'm getting the help or support I need. Or you're the one that is breaking that cycle and is moving forward in a really healthy, happy, and beautiful direction for yourself, right? Some of you are setting boundaries and walking away from toxic people. Some of you are establishing like beautiful routines that are really supportive and fulfilling for you. But like I said, this is kind of a reflection of the whole year coming through here. And I just feel like this movement towards the new beginning, the movement towards the excitement and the possibilities. And instead of fearing the unknown, there's excitement in the unknown, right? There's curiosity. There's an adventure to be had. And that's what it feels like is coming through here. And like I said, to go from the Eight of Cups to the Ace of Cups is really, really beautiful energy. So embrace those that embrace you, Taurus. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, receive what aligns, release what doesn't. Things can shift and change. Nothing is set in stone. But just remember to, fill up your cup with love, fill up your cup with healthy things, and allow that to overflow. And have boundaries with people, especially if you are like a people pleaser, right? Or you're trying to take on, someone's challenges when really they need a whole team of people. That it's too much for you to take on yourself. Then definitely get that help, that assistance, and those resources. And know that you're deserving of love. Know that you're deserving of, vibrant health, of beautiful friendships and connections, of this blessing that's the Ace of Cups that is coming in for you, of this new adventure, new beginning, new path, and of this excitement that's coming in. Okay, you've definitely aligned yourself, and I know you've been through it this year, Taurus, but it looks like you have stepped further into love, further into unconditional love, further into healing, right? So you're coming from a place of of wholeness, of fulfillment, of joy. And that's going to create a beautiful shift for you for the new year. So thank you so much for joining me. Receive what aligns, release what doesn't. Take the best care of yourself, and I will see you soon.